We are back with Katrin, Kern, and Korbel, who are here to give us the formula for a successful wedding toast.
That's right. Now, we've already discussed some of the do's and don'ts. Now, you have a quick formula. We have a quick formula, rather, to share with everybody for preparing a successful toast.
Great.
And what is that formula, guys?
Okay, so this is a formula that Chris and I have created. We call it the Bon Vivant Secret.
Okay.
And it is something we've created. It can be used for any occasion, but today we're going to focus on how you can use it especially for weddings.
Great.
Okay.
So, it's a special formula that's already in your hand because it is your hand.
Oh,
That's right.
Easy. Okay.
So we've all got a hand. We can all do this. I'm going to show you the steps, and I'm going to start with my little finger. So the little finger represents who you are in relationship to your honorees.
And that's the first thing you want to say when you start your toast?
Step one.
Okay.
Step two, the ring finger. The most positive memory you can recall about them as a couple, in this case, because it's a wedding, and what it means to you. The middle finger represents the most amusing thing about them as a couple. The point index finger, rather, represents the most impressive thing about the couple. And you wind up with the thumb, which is a wish or hope for them.
A what? A wish or
a hope. That will
Gotcha.
make everybody in the room say cheers along with you.
Nice. And
Okay.
as you're saying this to a wedding, I'm really thinking you're right. It could apply to any kind of toast, right?
It could, but so now we're going to focus on couples.
Okay.
And there's a little etiquette piece, right, Chris?
Well, just a quick aside, when you're giving a toast that's an impromptu toast, if it's a formal wedding, please check in with whoever's running the wedding to find out if that's appropriate.
Oh,
Otherwise,
good
you're just
idea.
upstaging. But we're going to do a toast to the two of you.
Okay.
So
Since you're a duo, a
duo.
professional duo.
Right. Christine is my TV wife.
Yeah, we kind of have a TV marriage of
Everybody
sorts.
knows that.
So Katrin's going to take me through the step. First, she's going to show me how to prepare with my hand, and then we're going to give it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so here's my hand.
So, Chris, what is your relationship to Christine and John?
I am a guest on Christine and John's show.
What's the most positive memory you can recall, and what did it mean to you?
When I met them, the way they greeted me, I felt like they had known me far longer than a few months.
Aw. What is the most amusing thing about Christine and John?
That two Southerners are actually hosting a show here in Pittsburgh.
Wow,
What
you
is
think
the
so
most
things
impressive thing about Christine and John?
That they just interviewed the average white band.
And what is your wish or hope?
That they have a long and successful career.
Okay, so now we
wow,
have to explain one thing. Chris is ready now, but we
Okay.
have to explain one thing, which is that when a toast is made to you, you don't stand up,
Okay.
you don't raise your glass or
I
drink
know, I was
yourself,
ready
which
to
is
go
why
like
we've
this.
deprived you of glasses.
Ah,
Right.
So
okay.
everybody else drinks to you. So now Chris is ready.
Now,
All
what I'm
right.
going to do here is I can't give a toast and look at my hands. That's just
Yeah.
kind of weird. So I'm going to count with my fingers. I'm going to keep, gentlemen, when you give a toast, you can always put a hand behind your back. What do ladies do?
What I do when I do this is I just keep my hand comfortably by my side, and I can just kind of discreetly go through my fingers down here.
Nice.
So,
Okay, here we go.
I am Chris Korbel, a guest on John and Christina's show. When I first met them, I was just so taken back by the way they made me feel like they had known me far longer. I am so impressed that two Southerners could actually be the hosts of such an East Coast show. But even more impressive to me is they just interviewed the average white band.
Isn't that cool?
That is the
Yeah.
coolest thing I can imagine. So, to Christina and John and to Pittsburgh Today Live, we wish you a long and happy career. Cheers, everyone.
cheers to Christine and John.
Thank you.
Impressive. Wow. You make it look so easy, but it is a lot easier if you have some guide like that. That's so
Exactly.
smart.
Were you counting back
Absolutely.
there? Chris?
Yeah, make sure you don't miss one. And also don't go too long either, because that's some of the problem. People just go on and on and on.
Right, if you're a best man or maid of honor, we say like take 10 minutes. Or if you're like a special guest that's been asked to give a toast in advance, and you have a special license then. But if you're just standing up as a like, let's say they have the video camera dedicated to toast, you can probably take as long as you want. But sometimes some weddings, especially less formal ones, have an open mic. So we say, you want to keep it to 2 or 3 minutes at the most if you're just a guest and you want to say something.
Yes.
But no matter what, make every minute count.
That's right, to
Well,
make it meaningful.
And I like the idea of, as let's say I'm the best man, I like the idea of including the bride in the toast as well. And I'd never really thought of that because sometimes, I know, I've seen it. I've been at weddings where, the toastee or toaster rather, will reference their friend, the guy or
Right.
the gal, but not really include the couple.
Yeah.
Well, you're an ambassador. So to the people who don't know the groom, you're there to say he's all right. But
Yeah,
to people
yeah.
who don't know the bride and know you, you're here to say she's all right too.
Yeah.
So why not serve both interests?
Right.
Great ideas.
Very good.
Thank you both
Good
so
stuff,
much.
guys. I like that
you.
5-finger system too.
No problem.
For more advice on giving a brilliant wedding toast, you can check out Chris and Katrin's blog at makeatoast.com. We have that link posted for you at kdka.com/PTL.
And we'll be right back with a look at some free and affordable happenings this weekend, next with Rachel Booth of livingpittsburgh.com.